Hello, friends. Welcome to the tuition tonight. If you are starting a journey in DevOps or cloud computing, you have probably heard three technologies mentioned over and over again: Docker, Kubernetes, and OpenShift. But many beginners have the same questions. What exactly is Docker? How is Kubernetes different? Is OpenShift another container platform, or is it something completely different? And most importantly, what technology should you learn first? In today's video, we are going to answer all of these questions in a simple and practical way. We will compare Docker, Kubernetes, and OpenShift, understand where each one fits, and look at how enterprises use them together in real production environments. By the end of this video, you will have a clear learning roadmap and know exactly which technology to start with. So let's begin. Why traditional deployments failed? Before we understand Docker, Kubernetes, and OpenShift, let's first understand the problem they were created to solve. Years ago, organizations deployed applications directly on physical servers. Usually, one application occupied one server. This approach was expensive because most servers were underutilized. Companies were paying for powerful hardware but using only a small percentage of its capacity. To improve efficiency, virtualization was introduced. Virtual machine allowed multiple operating systems to run on the same physical hardware. This reduces cost, but virtual machines still had their own operating systems, making them relatively heavy and slower to start. Then came containers. Containers package an application together with all its dependencies, making it lightweight and portable. They can start in second and run constantly across different environments. As organizations began running hundreds of or thousands of containers, managing them manually became impossible. And the reason that's where container orchestration platform like Kubernetes entered in the picture. So let's start with Docker. Docker is a platform used to create, package, and run application inside containers. Think of a container as a portable box. Inside that box, you package your application, required libraries, dependencies, and configuration files. Because everything is packaged together, the application behaves constantly regardless of where it's deployed. This solves the classic problem developer often faced. It works on many machines. Instead of saying the application is running on the client machine, the developer usually say it works on my machine. So that's a special quotation, like it works on my machine but not on your machine. Unlike virtual machine, Docker container share the host operating system's kernel. This make them lightweight and allow them to start very quickly. Docker is an excellent choice for development, testing, and packaging application before deployment. However, Docker alone does not solve the challenge of managing large number of containers. That's where Kubernetes comes in. Kubernetes is an orchestration platform for containers. If Dockers create containers, Kubernetes manages them. Imagine a company running hundreds or even thousands of containers. Manually starting, stopping, monitoring, and scaling each one would be extremely difficult. Kubernetes automates all of these tasks. It organizes machine into cluster, which behaves like a single system. Within the cluster are nodes. The machine where the workload runs, applications are deployed inside the pods. The smallest deployable unit is Kubernetes. The scheduler decides which node should run each pod based on available resources. Services provide stable networking, allowing application to communicate reliably even when pods are recreated. This automation makes Kubernetes the industry standard for container orchestration. Now let's talk about OpenShift. Many beginners think OpenShift replaces Kubernetes. That's not correct. OpenShift is built on top of Kubernetes. You can think of it as enterprise Kubernetes. It includes Kubernetes but also add features that large organizations require. For example, OpenShift provides built-in security through role-based access control and security context constraint. It includes a developer-friendly web console, integrated monitoring using Prometheus and Grafana, and built-in CI/CD pipelines. These features reduces the amount of manual configuration needed before deploying production workloads. That's why many banks, telecom providers, healthcare organizations, and large enterprises choose OpenShift for their production environments. Now let's differentiate between Docker versus Kubernetes. So let's compare Docker and Kubernetes. Docker is responsible for building and running containers, while Kubernetes is responsible for managing containers at a scale. Docker works well on a single machine or in a smaller environment. Kubernetes is designed for production system running across multiple machines. Docker provides basic restart capabilities, but Kubernetes offers advanced features such as automatic scaling, self-healing, and load balancing. A simple way to remember this is Docker creates containers, Kubernetes manages containers. The two technologies complement each other rather than compete. Now let's differentiate between Kubernetes versus OpenShift. Let's compare Kubernetes and OpenShift. Kubernetes provides the core orchestration engine. OpenShift builds on top of Kubernetes by adding enterprise capabilities. In Kubernetes, administrators often need to install and configure security monitoring and CI/CD tools separately, while in OpenShift includes many of these capabilities out of the box. It also provides a polished web console that simplifies management for both developers and administrators. If you're learning cloud native technologies, it's valuable to understand Kubernetes first and then explore how OpenShift extends it for enterprise use. So let's discuss the enterprise deployment flow. Let's see how these technologies works together in a real enterprise workflow. A developer begins by writing application code. The application is then packaged into a Docker image. The image is stored in the container registry such as Docker Hub or KOE. Kubernetes pulls that image from the registry and schedules pods across the cluster. OpenShift adds enterprise features such as security policies, monitoring CI/CD pipelines, and centralized management. Finally, the application is deployed into the production where user can access it. This workflow demonstrates that Docker, Kubernetes, and OpenShift are not competing technologies. Instead, they work together to form a complete cloud native application platform. Now, let's talk about your learning roadmap. Many beginners ask me which technology should I learn first. Here is the clean roadmap I recommend. Start with Docker. Learn how containers work and understand Docker images, Docker files, and container basics. Next, move to Kubernetes. Focus on cluster, nodes, pods, deployments, and services. Once you are comfortable with Kubernetes, start learning OpenShift. At that stage, OpenShift will feel much easier because you will already understand the underlying Kubernetes concepts. After OpenShift, expand your knowledge by learning DevOps practices such as CI/CD, GitOps, monitoring, and observability. Following this roadmap will build a strong foundation for roles such as DevOps engineer, platform engineer, or cloud engineer. Let's summarize quickly. In today's video, we have learned what Docker is. Docker is responsible for creating a running containers. Kubernetes orchestrates and manages containers across clusters. OpenShift extends Kubernetes by adding enterprise-grade capabilities such as security, monitoring, developers tool, and CI/CD. These technologies are not competitors. They work together to deliver reliable, scalable, and secure applications. Now here's a quiz for you. The question number 1. As you can see on the screen, which technology builds container images? You have to answer it in the chat box. What platform manages containers across multiple machines? And which platform adds enterprise feature on top of containers? Pause the video and see if you can answer these questions. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Tuition Tonight, and share it with anyone learning DevOps, Kubernetes, or OpenShift. In the next lesson, we will take a deep dive into containers and understand how they isolate processes, share the operating system kernel, and power modern cloud native application. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much.